Welcome to the Middlemen on Enterprise TV. I'm Juro Emeka Mandago, and it's a delight to be here once again. Today, Juro Olajumoke Alaode James will be delivering an imperative admonition titled End Bad Governance, while Juro Cyril Abaku will be examining the deletion of 63 Instagram accounts linked to sextortion in a case he has tagged Jambalaya. I'll be joining the vote to sing Gwo 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 Ngwo. That's after the break. Stay with us.
Middleman.
My case, Gwo 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 Ngwo, of the elite and Nigerian masses. In the last few days, a viral video has emerged from a 41-year-old song released by folklorist and high-life musician, 94-year-old Mike Gentleman Ejaga. The track, which was part of the Akoko Nebu album, Volume 1, had been in the cooler for some decades until it was brought up by skit maker Chukwuemeka Emmanuel Amuzie, aka Brain Jota. The track is a folklore about how the daughter of a king kept turning down suitors until they produced an elephant. The tortoise seized on an idea and deceived the elephant into accompanying him to the king's palace, where he was said to be going to cheer the annual festival of the town called Ofala. The elephant asked the tortoise to secure himself on his back in order to avoid falling off. The sound of the elephant's heavy footsteps were captured in the song as Gwo 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 Ngwo. As he got closer to the palace, the tortoise was shouting at the top of his voice that he had brought the elephant to the king as promised. When the elephant asked what he meant by that, the tortoise said he was merely wishing him well. Eventually, the tortoise got the elephant tethered and handed it over to the king. Bringing this to Nigeria, the elite, like the tortoise, has climbed onto the back of the masses, captured as the elephant since Nigeria gained independence. While deceiving the people about their real intentions, they have continued to lead them over the course of 6 decades to a point where they have been tethered helplessly. It's quite instructive that it took a youth to bring out this song at a time of national despair. My verdict. Though the masses are quite bigger than the elite, like the elephant is 30 times bigger than the tortoise, they have been serially deceived into believing that they are headed for greatness. The tortoise told the elephant that he was headed to the palace to cheer the flamboyant annual festival, whereas the plan was actually to sell out the gigantic mammal. Year in, year out, the elite tell Nigerians that they are headed to the El Dorado, but the real intention is to trade them in for personal favors, such as billions spent on presidential jets, luxury SUVs, residences, cutlery, and foreign travels, etc. Nigerians must wake up and assert their right not to be deceived any longer. They must stop piggybacking the rapacious elite. As the youths dance to the Gwo 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 Ngwo viral dance, even at the Olympics, they must now shake off the shackles of oppression, deception, and retrogression.
Gwo 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 Ngwo. I love the viral dance, you know. I love the part that Brain Jota was also able to bring back old folklore. He told the story of how he didn't like the song when he was a child, actually, but that his father used to play the music, and then suddenly he just remembered, you know. Now, the old folklore, the original album did not do 1 million views
at all.
on YouTube. Even Brain Jota has never gotten 10 million views before on YouTube. But this viral, that I have seen that skit makers, Nigerians want comedy, we want things to take our minds off what's happening, you know, in reality. So we will drift towards trends that are entertaining, you know. But all this long story Nigeria, Emeka those schools, I don't think Brain Jota was thinking about it.
What is the metaphor?
Oh, Gasa, wait. He just wanted to dance. Because Brain Jota is known for dancing, to be honest. You know, he has this dance that he does with his waist. So he just wanted to dance. All this story of tortoise and the elephant was not his aim. But I like that you know the story and we are able to relate it to what is happening in Nigerian polity today. We're planning a massive August 1st #End Bad Governance protest. So I think the Nigerian youth, like you are advising, have woken up to let us stop piggy banking the elite. They cannot be buying private jets, yacht, spending 21 billion for only vice president's lodge, and asking the citizens who have employed them to sacrifice to buy a crop of corn now. Tiny little kwashokori crop of corn is 200 naira. And they promised us, is it for ewa, is it for cassava, is it for agbado? We cannot even buy the agbado anymore, you know. And they be spending our patrimony on personal luxuries like SUVs and all of that. So yes, I absolutely agree with your verdict. Look, we should stand up and let them fall off our backs.
Yes.
In every generation, I think that every popular reaction, let me call it, of the people, has always been presaged, driven largely, and also sustained by the flourishing of artistic work that seeks to give interpretation and inspiration to what is going on.
Sure.
So, for example, you were talking earlier about people needing to rise up and shake, like the elephant shaking the tortoise off his back.
Yes.
I think it was Karl Marx that said that if the workers united and took action, they have nothing to lose but their chains.
Yeah.
And that's what Nigerians also have. All we have to lose is our
It's
chains.
our chains, though.
Again, this ties in so neatly with what is going on in our country today, because on two grounds. One is the fact that the fable sits very metaphorically,
Yes.
especially in light of the times we're in.
True.
The people are the elephant. They have the power.
Yeah.
They can create government.
Yeah.
They can remove government.
True.
They can imagine government. They can disimagine government.
Yeah.
So anywhere the elephant has lost, did you see that when the elephant asked the tortoise where are we headed, the tortoise lied?
He had to lie.
We must approach, tackle, dislodge, and dismantle the lies that have helped to sustain this chaos
True.
that has been created in the name of, for example, one of the lies, subsidy is gone.
No.
Gone where?
But when subsidy was brought back, they didn't say
Anymore.
subsidy
Is back.
That's a lie. There's another lie surrounding the presidential yacht. There's another lie surrounding the new presidential jet.
True.
There's another lie surrounding 90 billion naira for Hajj pilgrims. There are so many lies.
True.
There's another lie concerning a blending plant or oil
Malta.
refinery in Malta.
Very true.
There are so many lies, including saying that Dangote refinery is not licensed. There are many lies that are flying around. So today, we are this what is going on. What Bridget has done again will prove whether truly the youth are wise or not. Because what they always told us is that the youth have the energy, the elderly have the wisdom. That may be true, but there is wisdom that is from experience. But wisdom is largely about having knowledge and knowing how to rightly apply knowledge.
Yes.
That may not be the exclusive preserve of the elderly.
Fools go old now.
No,
yes.
I'm coming all over the world, from Fidel Castro to Blaise Camp. Is it Blaise? No. Ibrahim what's his name? Thomas Sankara, right? Even Yakubu Gowon and all the people that were staging coups and Obasanjo and Murtala Muhammad. How old were they?
They were in their 30s.
Good. So it is when you're young.
Some, yes.
It is when you're young that you can take that giant leap. When you grow old,
You can take the bull by its
the
horns.
Bible talks about when the evil days come. There are days when you would have thought of my children, my house, my land, my farm. So you can't do enterprising things anymore.
True.
I think that Gwo 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 Ngwo, is already there is reverberation in Aso Rock.
National Assembly are going on it.
They have heard the sound of the elephant approaching,
And that is the drum.
it's already shaped. So
They are abandoning the National Assembly now.
please, if they're asking for what to do, there's a lot you can do to appease this coming match.
True.
Do what people have said you should do.
No, but the first thing, the people should rise. Look, the tortoise got on the back of the elephant because
The elephant allowed
it. No, the elephant told it, said, let me give you a rope. Tie yourself very well on my back. Just like the
So
people,
that you won't sleep off.
just like the people have allowed their elite to stay on their backs, securely tied,
Fasting.
Yes, fasting. But when the tortoise, the elephant clearly heard when the tortoise told, shouted, I have brought the elephant as promised. And the elephant could have said, wait a minute, I heard what you said. and just, use its strength. If it has shaken itself vigorously, it will have thrown the tortoise off and run away. So the people must wake up now.
Shake off this
elite. Let them, whatever happens to them, it doesn't matter. Even if, like the tortoise, can break into pieces, it doesn't matter. But shake themselves vigorously and run away from.
And don't run away.
Okay. When we return, Juror Olajumoke Alaude James will weigh in on end bad governance in Nigeria today. Stay with us.
Middleman.
All right, you're welcome back to the Middleman on Enterprise TV. My case today is end bad governance in Nigeria. Everywhere you look today in the Nigerian polity, it's all about the planned August 1 hashtag end bad governance protests. The citizens are brazen. The government is jittery, as should be. The National Assembly is going on a 7 weeks recess until September. President Tinubu is begging for patience. T-shirts are being printed and shared in the north. Clerics are cashing out. Politicians are cashing in. The hashtag NSAS protest didn't happen in the core north. The northerners said they didn't know what police brutality was and didn't join that protest. But hunger knows no tribe or religion. Everybody. The northerners are drumming louder than even southern youths this time. And the elders are in support. Some youth in the Middle Belt had a press conference to say they were withdrawing from the protest. That press conference is like the middlemen having a press conference to say we have withdrawn from the protest. They will ask us, when did you join? Who invited you? Meaning, the protests are organic across the country. If any group withdraws, they may have been paid to do so. You're free to join the protest or not. You then do a press conference to say you're not joining, instead of staying at home on the day of the protest quietly. It definitely is fishy. Anyway, people paid them no mind. In fact, displaced persons in Plateau said they're coming out and warned the army against attacking them. So that balances out. Former President Obasanjo said that Africa is sitting on the keg of gunpowder as protests are erupting in Kenya, Uganda, and now being planned in Nigeria. Is this the time to end bad governance in Africa? I mean, democracy is not an African culture. Most African leaders stay in power for many years, planning sham elections cycle after cycle to seem democratic to their foreign puppet masters. They then get into power just to plunder their nation's resources for personal gains, ferry the loot to secret accounts abroad, and then increase taxes on staple for already impoverished citizens. Why do you think the Association of Sahel States are embracing their military dictators with relish? Democratic leaders of the past don't show them shiggy. Now, Gen Zs across Africa and democracies are using the power of social media to resist misrule. That's true democracy. My verdict: if you truly elected them, you should also have the power to ask them to resign. If they read themselves in, they should never be allowed to stay in comfortably. The protests being planned are supposed to be peaceful, but the same politicians who led the populace to peacefully protest against previous governments to get themselves in power are today wetting their pants just hearing about planned protests. What are they afraid of? Of course, from our experience at the hashtag NSAS protest and from what's happening in Kenya, peaceful protests can turn violent anytime. And if the government uses force, it may become bloody. But because the people who hijacked the NSAS protests were sponsored by powerful people who brought them in government buses in Lagos and ferried them in black SUVs in Abuja, the politicians themselves have been accused of sponsoring the violence thereof. The protests have been peaceful for weeks, till it was hijacked and then soldiers sent in. However, Kenyan youth are not backing down in the face of state-sponsored violence. As more bodies are being removed from shallow graves, their entire cabinet has been sacked, the IG of police resigned, and President Ruto is walking on hot coals. The way out is for the politicians to stop stealing and spend our patrimony on the people. He can't be paying reps multiple of millions monthly, buying SUVs for judges, spending 21 billion on vice president's lodge, buying yachts and private jets for the president while asking the citizens who employ you to sacrifice. It won't be so.
Well, the interesting thing is that it's up to Nigerians to decide on what they want. Because if you look at certain comments, on social media, especially from people of my generation, you'll be so ashamed. These are people who have children, maybe university. Some are even grandfathers and grandmothers. But for pittances, 20,000, 50,000, you see how the disgusting comments. You even look at one of them on one TV station yesterday, saying that trying to making disparaging remarks about the planned protest. I said, well, it's typical. This was someone. This is someone. No, but it's shameful because this is someone who doesn't even have a background that anybody can be proud of. He doesn't have a name that anybody can be proud of. So I just look at. You see, let me tell you, Nigeria will change. Nigeria will either change for the better or break apart. You see, we are just deceiving ourselves. Tinubu, if he likes, he can create development commissions for every street in Nigeria. It's a waste of time because you know what? All these things are going to unravel. You see, during COVID-19, Buhari used the CBS microfinance bank to disburse money called loans to people. And those loans, not even trade that money, COVID-19 loans. And meanwhile, that money was supposed to have been shared to as many Nigerians as possible, but they just cherry pick people. At the end of the day, that money, they didn't recover it. Now, people are saying that the student loan will go the same way. They just get to a point, close the portal, and that's all. You see all these knee-jerk responses. Then this resort to tribalism. Let me tell you something. You see, the people who are actually using tribalism on this thing, they don't understand what they are joking with. They should go and read the statutes of the International Criminal Court, the Rome Statute.
Oh, yeah.
And they will be well advised that, look, for those of them who are academics, I was warning one of them today on a WhatsApp platform, which I later, exited from. He doesn't understand one thing. I can compile evidence of all those things and write embassies, compile the names of all these people who did this, and for those of them who are academics or professionals or anything, whenever they decide maybe they want to japa, that's the end. Their visas will be denied. Even if they have city visas, they'll be revoked. They can do all they can right now to support Tinubu. No problem. But one thing they should know is this. In the future, what goes around will come around to them.
Sir, why is it a threat to anyone that you want to revoke their visas? Why is traveling abroad or jackpine or even just going?
Because these people are base characters. Let me tell you, they believe they can mess Nigeria up. In fact, some of these people actually supporting this horrible government live abroad. They live in better societies.
Yes,
but support impunity back home.
There was one time that a particular scholar, they were to publish a book in his honor, and they wanted people to make contributions. So I did a proposal. Then I spoke to a mentor of mine, an old-time mentor. I said, "This man was your lecturer back in school. Don't you want to?" And he was like, "Well, Cyril, it is this same intellectual class that has brought us where we are today." Because then Buhari was president. He said he was among those who made Buhari president.
Wow.
In fact, he famously wrote something that went viral. But when things went awry, he didn't counterwrite what he had written. Because that for me is the way it should be. Right?
Tinubu's aides are now deleting tweets.
No, good. Now I'm coming to the what I'm facing today. Frankly speaking, somehow, I don't think that everybody who supported Tinubu to become president did so because they wanted to get something in return.
You mean some people believed in him?
They did. And no. I'm coming for obvious reasons. Okay. Somehow you would imagine. Was Babangida a saint? But he had a galaxy of.
Oh, for personal reasons.
No, for
followers.
No.
His cabinet.
People he appointed around him, and they delivered. They worked.
Oh yeah.
For example,
Olikoye Kuti was Minister of Health.
Do you know that today, if you study medicine, let's even go. If you studied medicine, I had somebody who read in Russia or Ukraine, I think, and came back. to have your housemanship placement is not automatic. There's a portal that opens when the spirit wants it to open. Seriously, there is like a raffle draw. So you can finish from medical school, even in Nigeria, like maybe you went to Uniport or Jambalaya or Ibadan anyway. When you're done with your studies, to get husbandship placement, you can be another 1 year, 6 months, or 2 years.
Wow.
Yes, you've not gotten where to do your husbandship. The portal opens in midnight. You can do whatever it is. If you're lucky, you come. Sometimes before you even go with that. So and I'm wondering, what revolution have we seen in agriculture? In health, in the legal profession, or in any sector of our national life that we can say indeed something is happening here?
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Oh God.
Let me tell you one of the things that has happened.
The sad tale of Nigeria.
The number of people that have left Nigeria in the past 1.5 or even 2 years, right? Do you know that in the past 1 year, the diaspora remittances has increased?
Yes, no.
What does that tell us?
They are sending money back home.
What does that tell us? It means that more people have left.
Yes.
So many
So it
people.
means that the trajectory of hopelessness is widening.
Of course.
Now, somehow you would think that with the likes of, with the sort of big names, supposed big names as around him, somehow we just shouldn't be here no matter what. But we are here.
You
We are
know,
coming. We are here because I suspect that even where things could have been good or better for them, it isn't getting good or better. Maybe it speaks to the kind of politics that brought them out to power also.
oh yes.
You know that in 2012,
Propaganda.
that famous is beyond that.
It's even worse. It's more odious.
Yes, propaganda one, but also because maybe where they saw someone else doing something good, they will do something.
They worked against it. They sabotaged the previous government.
Now let me ask you, who is sabotaging Tinubu?
Nobody. His own people.
You can't.
He's sabotaging himself now.
Yes,
When you do not have money and you tell us that previous governments have sold fuel in advance,
Forward sales.
but you are now borrowing money to do what? It's not to build infrastructure. It's to buy private jet for the president, buy yacht, buy SUV for George. Use 21 billion. Somebody said that 21 billion naira will renovate 21 police barracks
Now
across the country.
let me even give you the
That you
clincher.
used to go and repair one person's lodge that you may not even stay in.
Can I give you a clincher? Juros, let me give you a clincher. In all sincerity, isn't this a case of the crab unable to change his footsteps?
Of course.
Dangote refinery. Let me ask, what is the problem with Dangote refinery? That the man came to the point and said he will sell it up to the federal.
Yeah,
No, Dangote refinery, let me just tell you. Dangote built it out of revenge. That Yaradua returned the money he paid for Kaduna and Port Harcourt refineries. So, said, okay, these refineries that were built a long time. No, I'm just trying to, build a trajectory. Look, it's very simple. The money he would have spent on turning those refineries around, he wouldn't have spent up to $20 billion. He was to build a refinery for $12 billion. Now he went to $20 billion. He wouldn't have spent up to that. Now, how much was the exchange rate then? So, and don't forget, the Port Harcourt refinery, there are 2 refineries in Port Harcourt. There is also a petrochemical plant being managed by Indorama of India. Those are the people making those reels, for sachet water, one copy water in Nigeria. And a lot of things, that's why in that area, importation has gone down. So, now, he instead came. The last refinery in the United States was built in 1975. And some of our refineries were built in the 80s. Now, he came, paid money for what would have been a bumper packet, 3 refineries in one. Yaradua returned his money because Yaradua didn't like him. Then,
As a monopolist.
he now went, when you say monopolist, let me tell you,
It's not.
I'm an entrepreneur. Investing in this country is akin to putting a gun to your head.
Okay, so he now went and
So he went and built a refinery from the scratch. After building a refinery from the scratch, take note that in between, people deliberately ran the 4 refineries aground. They are deliberately not allowed the other primary refineries to take up, except two, Aradel and Watersmith. Remember now, Tony Elumelu, he has an investment in the refinery, and he was crying about how, you know, this how they were stealing the crude that was supposed to come to the refinery. So these people have been benefiting from importation, and they don't want to allow anybody to come aboard. Now, go and look at the record of importation from Malta. Since 2013, it has been rising from Malta. So that tells you that Nigeria's problems are actually man-made.
Yes,
so Tinubu has the challenge today. If he's not benefiting from these things, I want to give you the benefit of that. If he's not benefiting from these things, he should say enough.
But they have invited Dangote now. That they should go and find because the masses are crying, the elites are also crying.
Jumoke, the point I was making, a government can be so powerless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, it appears that they are having a taste of their own medicine, which is rather unfortunate. Because when Buhari came into office, people had given such a wide benefit of doubt, believing that
Buhari was
going to perform magic.
Then they realized that this man was even, you know, now Tinubu too coming into office. You know, the very few government can do something and get away with them. But in his own case, whereas it would seem that this is another man that has another opportunity, great opportunity. The National Assembly is under you. The governors will, you know,
even the judges.
Yes, will do. Everybody will do your bidding. What then are you doing with this goodwill? That's how you know that something more fundamental is wrong. It's not about policies. It's not about there's something that even they can't explain. Even they can't explain it. But unfortunately, that's what we've come to. So we can only hope that maybe they do some soul searching, go back and check themselves. And if what Governor Fayemi said the other day about what was he called? About the 2012 Ojota protest being if it was political, I think that what they can do is to appease God by atone, or what was it called?
Yes,
by going to the Jonathan government, maybe go to and apologize, say, sir, we are sorry, we only sabotage. It is true, because if you won't own up to your own misdoings, you will spend 8 years. That it is when you leave office, you'll be wondering. You know, we were told about the president that when they told him, see what happened, and he said, I'm not aware, I didn't know. Is it true? They said yes.
Buhari wasn't aware of anything.
So this president has a chance to make things right, but if he wouldn't, holding emergency meetings will not solve any problem.
True.
You need more than, but you see again, what do they need? They have everything they need. They need a sincerity to admit that most likely the wrongs of the past years is what's haunting them today.
Yeah.
It is called nemesis.
Karma. And then they removed subsidies for the masses, the extremely poor, only to be subsidizing themselves and going away with all of our luxuries.
You can imagine that.
Of course, Karma will chase up with them. When we return from this short break, Cyril Abako has a case and it's titled Jambalaya. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middleman. My case, Jambalaya. Nigeria's record with curbing internet fraud is abysmal, probably non-existent. Those who argue that the Nigerian government is making strides can't point to how the trend is abating. After all, the former head of the police elite anti-crime unit was helping organize his tailor for Hush Puppy, who is now languishing in a US jail for internet fraud. That same man today has a case in court in connection with drug trafficking. Don't get it twisted. Don't even believe those who say something may be wrong with you if you understand Nigeria. I don't agree. Only days ago, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, deleted tens of thousands of, wait for it, Nigerian Instagram accounts over sextortion. I hope we're not surprised. What's wrong is wrong, but what if this energy of the sextortionists was deployed to something genuinely positive? I just feel we're losing our best to the worst things. This is the Jambalaya, good and bad, or good as bad, in the same place. The one destroying the other, or the one destroying itself. my verdict. The EFCC and all other relevant agencies involved in monitoring financial and cybercrime should do better by using technology to fight the menace. Plus, can't we just find a way to convert negative genius to serve the purpose of national productivity? I saw room.
Well, I absolutely agree with your verdict in that we've seen other countries do it where their, criminals are used, as intelligence officials. So you combat them. But also, we have created an industry in Nigeria where we do not think that some crime in itself is crime. For instance, we have so many internet fraudsters, right? Who we call them Yahoo here. And it has become an industry where even some parents no longer frown at it. Some parents have become pickers for their children.
No, they have an association.
Aha!
Yahoo Boys Mothers Association.
So imagine 10,000 of Instagram accounts, deleted for sextortionists. Wow. It's huge, Joe.
63,000 actually.
63,000.
And the Nigerian government has a law on, wait for it, cybercrime.
For handling
That will only arrest you at night. That will only arrest you at night.
Organizers
for organizing protests. For them buying private jets for themselves. But the people who are hounding young, vulnerable girls and boys on the internet, they will never find them.
So for all you care, let me make an analogy from football before I pass it on to Joe Remeka. Street football was vogue, or is still vogue in Nigeria. But because football has been largely organized from being a recreational sport to a commercial sport, today it's a big money spinner globally. So we've gone from just playing football for fun to making football, a global showpiece. Made several tournaments, competitions. Now you wear your boot and so on and so forth. Endorsement deals, marketing. It's a whole value chain that runs into billions of dollars.
Yep.
All right. Now, our children could just have been neighborhood football
players.
street players. But now, if not, look at what Osimhen has become. Given the background he came from and looking at where he is today, it's a whole. In fact, football is like a rags to riches story for almost all the players, like up to 90% of the players globally. When we come to this internet, when the internet age, information age, what I want to call it, we're an age where everybody has a gadget, the way you have your clothes on. How can we make each man's gadget his passport to education, passport to civilization, passport to enlightenment? Sometimes you hold your phone and all that somebody may do to be watching skills and reels.
Yeah.
For me, that's even less productive. But you can't take the fact that people are engaged with their gadgets. And then there are those who now take the step further to actively engage in something wrong. They learn these skills. There are academies where people recruit them, they pay them, and they teach them. So how to hack phones, how to scam people. So how can we convert this body of negative knowledge into something positive for the country?
The association of criminals, right, who do wrong, who teach wrong, do it for a particular reason, right?
Yes.
Now, for the population to now turn that around into something positive, you have to think like them. Find out what the issues are for them. Why are we gathering ourselves and teaching people to become criminals if it is not profitable? So if the Nigerian government gathers, young people who are jobless but are already engaged in some of these activities and, find out from them why they're doing the things they are doing and how they can improve them, make them better. Rather, I hear that the people on top are not even thinking about the masses at all.
Now, let me even shock you. You know Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
In the US, Silicon Valley is a big thing. Just imagine that it wasn't Silicon Valley, that it was some sort of dark web. Imagine what that would have done. These people, they rush properly and would. There was time a football club in Italy was doing a transfer. They took the money.
Yes. They're that powerful.
They took the so yes, now
they're that knowledgeable.
Yes, but when I just feel that when human creativity finds expression in a space where it can be used for positive reasons, it will do positive things.
I agree.
But where it finds itself in a place where that
nature abhors a vacuum.
It's just turning into whatever it is it can do.
It will adapt us in its environment.
So for me, if you find them, arrest and prosecute, no doubt about it. But let's also have a program that catches them young, incubates them, and helps them and get them to put Nigeria's own name and face on the global community as a tech hub or as something that that can also drive.
For me,
this guy Tunde Onokoya of chess from the slums, he's doing exactly what you're recommending. Going to those bus stops. He went into Oshodi, and the young boys that are criminals, they pickpockets and things like that. He teaches them to play chess and takes them abroad for chess tournaments. Their lives have changed. They are changing the lives of their own family members. So it is not rocket science.
It's not.
If one man Tunde can do it, why can't the government do it?
No, look, I think where the problem lies is that people in authority, people in government are sponsors of these scammers.
People, yes.
That is it.
I agree.
You see, when you
I agree.
when you don't use
You
power,
went there, yes.
when you don't use power, you are complicit.
Yes.
You have power to change people's lives and you don't use it. You are complicit.
True.
It's very simple. Let me tell you, I also hold the international community, the United States, the United Kingdom, the West, culpable in all of these things. Because you still trace a lot of this illicit money coming from abroad and also going abroad.
True.
Well, to some extent, I would say that the EFCC has tried in tracking a lot of, criminal activities, scams. The EFCC, I give them kudos for that. Even the ICPC. But the problem has been that in between, political interference has not allowed them to really work. Now, you find out that scammers from Eastern Europe, former Eastern Europe, are the ones, they are not displacing these boys in Nigeria. It won't be long before these Yahoo boys in Nigeria will be out of job. Because it's those guys, those ones are working even with governmental support of their government.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And they are defrauding people in the United States, in different places in the West. Seriously, hacking into bank accounts and all of that. Now, that is at the level that Nigerian scammers, have not got to. They are displacing them. And then also, let us also give it to EFCC the fact that every time that any scammer has been declared wanted, the EFCC was able to track them, pick them, and get them extradited.
Well, I don't like their process. I don't like EFCC's process.
Yeah.
Badging into hotels.
There are people, the problem is that you also have those
Bad eggs.
Yeah, bad eggs who try to spoil the good work that they're doing. So the basic problem is political interference. And I don't want us to, by any stretch of imagination, give these guys any form of recognition. They are criminals and should be taken out. Because they are a big problem, a virus, and must not be allowed to proliferate their illicit trade. So the point is that, yes, Facebook, Meta has woken up now to delete those extortion accounts. Let Meta also go forward to deleting accounts linked to terrorism, accounts linked to fraud. They know them. They know it's so easy. Well, these people are the back end.
They know them.
They see the conversations. They see. So they should, the same way the authorities were able to detect 63,000 accounts on Instagram. They should also empower the authorities to be able to detect and make a clean sweep so that it will help our nation. That's only million naira.
63,000 Nigerian accounts.
They should.
Nigeria.
No, when Jeremiah was talking about sponsorship, actually, people will tell you that politicians use these Yahoo boys to launder money. So
aren't the politicians the ones who are sponsoring terrorists?
Yeah, so it's the reason.
And they are using private jet to drop food for terrorists inside the jungle.
Yeah, so but what I still think we need to do, though, you see, what else we need to do is, if anybody has jet, like that young man that hacked Olukoyede's phone in his presence,
they should have employed him immediately.
People like that. It's not just government, private companies. Okay, if our private sector was very good, they could also have incubation departments that hire very good talent. Okay, in America, Amazon, you see, America's finest brains are either in politics or in the private sector, where the research is important. So what we can also do is to make sure that things work as they ought, and that eventually we are where we ought to be with safe landing. Well, that's about the time we have on Middleman today. I must thank you, my fellow jurors, for your time on the show today.
Thank you very much. And also thank our backroom guys
for their steadfastness and for keeping the faith.
Yes.
Jumake, what do you say to them?
Thank you very much, our crew, our producers, our directors, production assistants, audio guys. Thank you, we love you.
Yeah, and the video editors. You can keep the conversation going by joining our community. You may drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our page here on YouTube and across all social media at Enterprise TV7. Plus, our website is at www.enterprisetvnews.com. From all of us in the studio, it's a big bye.
Middleman. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.